The Honorable Hlengwa.
Honorable Speaker, the Deputy President answering questions of Parliament.
No, Honorable.
Can you please help us? If he wants to be the President of South Africa, he has to speak more firmly
just
and
take
answer
your
questions.
seat, please.
Or are you scared of Babaga Tutuzani, Chief?
Honorable Hlengwa, please take your supplementary question.
No, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The 14-point plan, which has been referred to, is, a hollow vision devoid of any confidence-inducing content, primarily because of the conflicting statements from government where you speak from both sides of your mouth. On one hand, inclusive growth. On the other hand, you're speaking about radical social economic transformation. But Honorable Deputy President, the biggest problem with the SOEs is these bailouts, where you are throwing financial solutions to non-financial problems. The problem is the boards that you are appointing, people who are not fit for purpose and are not equal to the task at hand. Ben Gubane, dismal failure. Dutumieni, dismal failure. Prof. Makuve, dismal failure. Lucky Montana, dismal failure. All these boards are just a dismal failure. So hasn't the time come, Honorable Deputy President, whereby you really look at the manner in which these boards are constituted, and secondly, scrap the Department of Public Enterprises and relocate SOEs in line function departments so that you can better strengthen the capacity of those entities for them to work? Because currently, your plan is anchored in this 14-point plan or the 9-point plan, which we later learned was the 1-point plan. The GEA has collapsed, RDP collapsed, as GISA collapsed, the NDP is collapsing. So the inconsistency of policies and the incompetence of these boards is at the heart of the collapse of these state entities. So shouldn't we really reconfigure this whole thing? And
your time has expired, Honorable.
Secret ballot.
Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Hlengwa has raised quite a number of issues, particularly in relation to how these state-owned enterprises should be run and operated. And he's suggesting that you should get rid of the Department of Public Enterprises and then put all these state-owned enterprises into their own line departments. That is the one way of looking at it. What we've been seeking to do, Honorable Hlengwa, is to see how best we can implement the recommendations of the Presidential Review Committee, which spoke to coordination, how best we can coordinate things such as the process and the system and the policy of appointing boards. That what you need to do is to have almost a uniform system of appointing boards so that Transnet does not have its own system, ESCOM does not have its own system. You should have a unified system or policy of appointing boards, of dealing with issues of remuneration, and also beginning to have an insight of how best you can coordinate some of their own activities so that you are able to utilize the scale that these state-owned enterprises have. Now, those are some of the thoughts that are emerging that we are looking at. You are looking at it in a different way. That has been the way in which some of these state-owned enterprises have operated almost separately and in silos. It has worked in part, but in other parts it has been also found to be a little bit weak. So we're seeking, therefore, to try and have a uniform policy, board appointments, remuneration, and many other things to see how best we can strengthen these state-owned enterprises. And you could also begin to have an insight of their balance sheet challenges. A number of them have huge balance sheets, and some have weak balance sheets. What do you do with all that? So those are some of the debates that I guess we will need to have here in this House as well to discuss more fully how the Republic moves ahead with these state-owned enterprises. Thank you, Madam Speaker.